Sports fans, and welcome. We're already having fun on the First Family Show. Welcome to another edition of the First Family Show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Family. Guys, this is the final week of the First Family Show before the new year. We have a great show for you today. God, I got to tell you, this is not a dating show. This is not a dating site. Don't keep scrolling if you're looking for winners, because you're going to get not a better panel in the history of this business than today's panel. Let me bring them on. Let me go around the horn. Chris Thurston, you know him as CT Bets. Rocky Atkinson, Ross Benjamin. Let me go around the horn individually. Chris, how are you today, buddy?
Joe, I'm doing well. Excited to be here again. Got a little hot last night. I was 3-0, all posted for free on my Twitter. So looking to kick off the new year right, and excited to be with you guys.
Well, Chris, what a coincidence. I got a little hot last night. We may be making you an uncle 9 months from now. Just yesterday. That's why she's smiling this morning. Chris Thurston's always running hot. All his winners can be found on his Twitter at CTBet16. My good friend, they call him the Southern Assassin, Rocky Atkinson. Rocky, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing good, Joe. Hope you're doing well as well.
Rocky, I got to tell you, I love your voice. You know, we always joke. I always joke that a lot of people ask us if we're identical twins. We are not. But, you know, Rocky's voice always reminds me, I don't know if you guys remember it. Back when I was a kid, we used to look forward. We used to play Little League, then go home for Saturday morning and afternoon cartoons. After the cartoons were over, you know they were over because Soul Train came on. Don Cornelius had the coolest voice ever. Peace, love, and soul. And Rocky really reminds me of that because he's got this beautiful voice, and I love Rocky. He's always one of my favorite people. And he is a darn good capper as well. Speaking about darn good cappers, my good friend Ross Benjamin. Ross, how are you today, buddy?
Well, Joe, I've gone 7-2-1 with my bowl selections, and I'm just kicking them sportsbook managers' coolies, man. And I got more today. I got the Ohio game and the Arizona Bowl, and I hope you all join in and jump all over. Rocky, you have a great effect on me, my friend.
You know, Rocky's voice
slows me down.
I want to tell you now, guys. We have a lot of fun in the First Family Show. But I can tell you that I don't think there are too many shows I get off the air, and I don't try to do Rocky. I can't do Rocky's voice. Man, I can't. I can do Joe Pesci. I can do a guy from The Sopranos, but I can't do Rocky's voice. There's only one Rocky.
Let me hear you do Joe Pesci. Go ahead.
Hey! No, I'll do it later. I can do his height. You know, Russ, I know we got to get into some free winners, but I know Joe, since before he became an actor, he was a singing waiter on Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. He worked in a very dear friend of my father's restaurant, and we used to go in there, and he was a singing waiter. I had a toupee back then, has a toupee now, but always good. Hey, what am I, a clown here for your amusement? Now listen. All right. Hey, actually, I do a better Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro from The Raging Bull. Where they're in the kitchen, they're yelling at the wife. God bless you. I do a really good one. We'll do that another time. It is a great one. You call these peas? Anyway. All right, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. You know how I start every show. Good morning, Dionne.
Oh, good morning. Happy Friday.
Dionne, happy Friday. We're very excited to be here. Dionne and I had a nice night last night. We had a nice morning. Like I said, we'll tell you in a few months from now if all you guys are going to be uncles or aunts, because I got as hot as Chris did on his. Now, guys, we have a lot of fun, but Dionne is in a little bit of a tizzy this morning. About 3 minutes before we went on the air, she broke her best reading glasses. So she's doing a little Urkel today. Show them the Urkel. We take them. we were trying to hide it from you. I said, don't ever hide it from the viewers. Always show them your flaws as well as your nuggets, as well as your positives.
Without my glasses, I can't see the guys on the screen and what we're doing. So unfortunately, we have to go on. So, we're going to do the best that we can.
Now, guys, I will tell you this. If this was an ugly panel, she would take the glasses off. But she likes to look at Rocky, Ross, and Chris because they're good-looking sons of guns. Having said all that, there's really no fluff today. I do want to do a shout-out, though, to my good buddy Dave Schoen. Dave Schoen is one of the assistant editors over at the Las Vegas Review-Journal in the sports department. He did an article, bettors are siding with the Buckeyes in the Peach Bowl. Maybe later on we'll talk to a couple of our panelists about that. But without any further ado, Dionne has a couple of discounts. Then we're going to get into some free content. Dionne, take it away, darling.
Thank you. So we still do have those $2 Tuesday featured cappers available. Your sexy and savory host, Joe D'Amico, along with JM Sports. Both of them still have their 5% best bets still posted for $2 Tuesday, $2 a piece. So you don't want to miss out on that because it is an amazing deal. We also do have the College Football Bowl All Access still going on. It did drop down to just $99. And that one there, no code is necessary. So make sure you head on over to the site and pick up those amazing deals and that $2 Tuesday play from both Joey and JM Sports. And also don't forget to head on over to the deal page and find out some other amazing discounts that both Sports Memo and Wager Talk have going on for all of these amazing handicappers that are on both sites.
Now, I just want to say one thing. She just made my day because she said I was sexy and savory with the glasses on. Now she was, Joe, you're the best looking guy I've ever seen. Then I need a divorce lawyer. Guys, we always have a lot of fun.
You're still my stud muffin.
I love you, baby. You know I love you. I do love you. And maybe we'll make everybody out there an uncle or an aunt after this show, in between this show and the other show. All right, guys. We have a lot of fun on the show, but we offer the best insights and the best free content anywhere on the planet here at Sports Memo TV because we have the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet. And I'm going to start with one of my favorite people in the world. 7-2-1, I believe, in bowl games, documented. I check the leaderboards because, I'm a vain, egotistical son of a gun, and I like to see the name D'Amico across the leaderboards. And I went there this morning again, and Mr. Ross Benjamin, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the time. He is all over the leaderboards. But you know what? That's what we've come to expect from Ross Benjamin. Sorry, Ross, but it's true, man. It is true. He is one of the best in the history of this business. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side at Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Ross Benjamin, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the kind words in the intro, Joe. It's much appreciated. And like I told you yesterday, that mutual respect comes right back at you. I'm going to take a look at an NBA game, Utah and Sacramento tonight. Before I get to that, as Joey mentioned, folks, 7-2-1 with my college football bowl selection so far. I do have one pickup. It's the lowest profile game of the day. And it goes in the Arizona Bowl matchup between Ohio and Wyoming. That game kicks off at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, folks. It's not about the most popular game on TV, the most heavily bet game on TV. It's where I'm finding the betting value, and that's my one game today that I've really honed in on. On top of that, since December 3rd, I've gone 11-3 with my college football sides, actually 11-3-1. To be exact, my NBA since April 1st, I'm up over 48 units. Actually, $100 a unit players are up $4,630 a time. And then my NFL since January 30th of this year, 63-49. Again, my $100 a unit players are up $2,576. And my NFL side, 73-55, 57% since November 21st of last year. That's over 13 months, folks. That's no fluke. And with those NFL sides, my $100 a unit players are up $4,004. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, Joe. Right now, you're either going to see Sacramento as a 3 or a 3.5 point favorite, depending on the sports book that you're looking at. This is a Utah team that got off to a great start to the season. They've tailed off a bit, especially so on the road. The Jazz have lost 8 of their last 9 road games. They will be playing their 3rd road game in 4 days, and they've gone 0-2 straight up in ATS in the first 2 games of this 3 and 4 day road trip. The Utah defense has really been terrible over the last 7 games. As a matter of fact, they're allowing 119.3 points per game during that course of time, and opponents have combined to shoot 52%, which is just atrocious defense. Conversely, the Sacramento Kings, over their last 7 games offensively, they're averaging 120.4 points scored per game and shooting over 49% from the field. Sacramento will be playing the finale of a 6-game and 12-day homestand. So they've been sitting right at home, sleeping in their own beds for the last 2 weeks, while Utah, like I alluded to earlier, playing that 3rd road game in 4 days. And lastly, the Sacramento Kings are 5-0 straight up and 4-1 against the spread, and their last 5 is a home favorite of 7 or less. winning those games by 16.6 points per game. As a matter of fact, 4 of those 5 wins came by 9 points or greater. So I like Sacramento here. Minus the 3 or 3.5, whatever you get, it won't matter. I think they win this game by double digits tonight at home against the Utah Jazz.
A king of sports betting. Ross Benjamin says Sacramento Kings tonight, minus the 3. Ross mentioned, doesn't matter if it's college football, pro football, doesn't matter. It's 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. He's making you money. The best customer appreciation discounts on the planet are at sports betting. After the show, go follow Ross over at sports betting with those discounts. I promise you, he'll make you money. You'll go into the new year a big winner. Ross has to take off. He's walking like he's talking. He's got to get some more big winners up on the Sports Memo website just for you guys. So he's going to take off. Don't fear, though. At the end of the show, we'll run down all the free plays. Ross, thank you for tuning in. And to you and your beautiful family, have a happy and a healthy new year, okay?
Back at you, buddy. Chris, nice to meet you. Have a happy new year, Rocky. I hope you all have a happy new year down there in South Carolina. And anyway, till the next time, I'll talk to you next year, folks.
Have a great year.
Thank you, Ross.
Happy New Year.
Guys, we always have a good time with Ross. He is one of the most successful sports bettors, sports handicappers in the history of this business. He's going to take off, guys. But don't worry, man. You can get all his winners at Sports Memo after the show. I want to talk about my good friend Rocky Atkinson, who, you know, we always have a lot of fun with Rocky, he and I, because we go back a long time. And he's got that perennial smile, and he does have that smooth as silk voice. I got to tell you that. But all those points are moot because he's one of the best handicappers in the history of this business. And numbers don't lie, and his numbers are unrivaled. And I mean they're unrivaled. You know, there's a level of a white whale, so to speak, in this business. And, you know, if you hit 55, 56, 57%, not only are you a big winner over the course of a season, but you're a handicapping champion. Rocky has not just exceeded those numbers. He's hit over 70% several times for an NFL season. But you know what? It doesn't stop there. He's one of the best in college football, college basketball, pro basketball. It doesn't matter if it's on the hardwood, the turf, the grass, inside, outdoors, college or pro. Rocky Atkinson's numbers are unrivaled in this business. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side at Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. My dear friend Rocky Atkinson, take it away.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, 98 and 66, 60% NBA long-term run, 62% college basketball this year after we cashed with Furman last night. Like you said, 70% last year in the NFL with all my picks. This year, a little disappointed as I've dropped to 57% now. But like you said, that's still winning money. But I want to get back to that 60% mark at least for the season. I'm up money in college football, up in the NHL as well. So looking to do some more damage this weekend. I do have a college basketball play of the day loaded now for Friday evening. You can get it at sportsmemo.com. I'm going to take a look at the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Georgia Bulldogs in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia here on Saturday evening. Ohio State's 11-1 straight up overall this year, while Georgia comes in with a 13-0 straight up overall record on the season. Bulldog fans won't have far to travel to see this one. And let's not forget that while this is not Georgia's home field, they did just play here earlier this month in a 50-30 win over LSU in the SEC championship game. So I think that gives them a little advantage of knowing the field here. This Georgia defense is very good. They allow only 12.8 points per game overall this year, 15.3 points per game on the road this season, 16.7 points per game their past 3 games overall, and 15.3 points per game on turf. Georgia's number 1 in the nation against the run, allowing only 77.1 yards per game on the ground this year. They're number 2 in the nation in points allowed, and they allow only 292.2 total yards per game this season. Ohio State lost to Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. In this game, Michigan was able to move the ball on the ground as they had 33 carries for 254 yards. Georgia averages 208.2 yards per game rushing this year. So I'm seeing them being able to do something similar here. Ohio State also allowed 278 yards passing to Michigan, and Stetson Bennett will put up big numbers here as well in this one. Georgia's ranked with the 7th best offense in the nation in total yards per game. Bottom line is this: Georgia will be able to move the ball with ease while their defense will shut down Ohio State. A couple of trends here for this game. Ohio State 2-9 straight up and against the spread the last 11 games against SEC opponents. Ohio State 1-3-1 against spread last 5 games after allowing more than 40 points in their previous game. Ohio State 1-5 against the spread last 6 games after a straight up loss of more than 20 points. Georgia 21-9 against the spread their last 30 bowl games, including 8-2 against spread last 10. I'm going to recommend playing Georgia laying the points in the Peach Bowl on Saturday evening.
Rocky Atkinson said, Georgia, ooh, Georgia. Georgia's on his mind. It should be on yours too, because he's one of the best in the history of this business. He says, Bulldogs, take a bite out of the Buckeyes. Rocky is doing great work, as we mentioned. He said he's only hitting 57%. And oh my goodness, guys, that's like saying I'm only a little loud. I'm going to tell you now, he is one of the best in the history of this business. And I am honored to be sharing another panel with him later today on the NFL, the Pro Football Forecast Show. Tune into that later today. We're going to be giving out some great content on this weekend's NFL winners. But right now, guys, after this show, go to Sports Memo. Go follow Rocky. Guys, I'm telling you right now, my bet, and I make a good living betting, guys. My bet is he hits over 60% in an NFL season. So grab one of those great long-term packages. Grab 30 days of Rocky's NFL. I promise you this. Whether you bet $10 a game, $10,000 a game, you'll get a nice return on your investment. Now, Rocky has to take off as well. He's got to get some more winners up for you on the Sports Memo board today. So he's going to take off, but you won't miss any of these free plays. We're going to get you Ross and Rocky's at the end of the show. Rocky, I appreciate you stopping by on this day where you're very busy. You got a couple of shows you're going to be doing, but I will see you later today on the Pro Football Forecast. And you know what? To you and your gorgeous family, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, Joe. Take care, Dionne. Chris, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Rocky.
Good
Have a
next
great
year.
day. I'll see you in a few hours, buddy. Guys, Rocky's one of my favorite people on the planet, let alone in this business. And we've been friends for a long time. And that's the funny thing about this business. You know, it might be, oh, Jesus, the biggest exploding business in this world, or definitely in this country, with the emergence of all these places you could bet a game now. You know, it's funny, you know, back in my day when I first started, you used to have to get on the phones and tell people this is for entertainment purposes only, because you knew they were betting with local bookmakers. Because we used to get on the phones. 99% of the people, Chris, we talked to weren't in the state of Nevada where sports betting was the only place that sports betting was legal. So we used to say, well, this is for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, okay. And then the offshores emerged in the 90s. And, you know, there was some goods and some bads. People could get down, but there was a lot of problems with some of those offshores. So what happened was this country said, wait a minute. We think there's a lot of money being spent offshore, a lot of money. They thought it was a couple of billion. Turns out it was hundreds of billions of dollars. So they said, let's get that money in this country. Let's make that green. And, you know, every state that approved it is making money. And it's funny. It really is that it exploded. But Rocky is one of the best. Ross is one of the best. I want to talk about somebody who maybe they're not selling plays, but they are certainly one of the most respected guys in this industry. Chris Thurston, you know, it's CT Game Day, CT Bets, does a lot of work over at Wager Talk, our brother website. And let's face it, you know, thousands of guys want to jump on the Wager Talk brand. There's probably only a few dozen out there that have the respect and the reputation that they can bring on, but they even bring less than that on. And they brought Chris on it, and let me tell you, he never looked back. He does some great work over at Wager Talk, but he's really known for doing, you know, he'll tell you, maybe he could tell you a little bit about the show he does with Kelly. Everybody knows about my good friend Kelly in Vegas. She's been friends of mine for 15 years, and he's very close with Kelly. He does a show over at Wager Talk, does some other things that, you know, that really, really get a lot of followers. A lot of people talk about Chris, and you know, his reputation precedes him, and his respect is earned. You know, he's just not a guy that popped up. He earned everybody's respect. Let him tell you a little bit about where you can find him, a little bit about what he does. Then he's going to tell you about where he's going to tell you a free play that he's got for you. And I'm very excited to hear this. Chris Thurston, CT Bets, the floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Love being here with you and Dionne, kicking off the new year here. I appreciate you guys having me. Like you said, you could follow me at CTBets16 on Twitter. I give everything for free out there. Also on Sports Map Radio, we do a gambling show there with Dan Lifshatz from 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston. Every Tuesday night 8 to 10 p.m. on Sports Map Radio. And then you could also catch me on Wager Talk on Wednesday nights. We do the Hustle Show Pod. That's Kelly in Vegas, Drew Martin Betts, Adam Trigger, and myself. The four of us have a lot of fun, give some good content, and a few winners as well. Joe, I'm heating up, so I'm a little excited right now. I went 3-0 last night, and looking to keep it rolling here. So I'm going to give out a free play here that I like a lot, and I'm going to head to the Rose Bowl, and that's this Monday, January 2nd, 5 o'clock Eastern, when the Utah Utes take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Joe, when the Lions first came out, I got to be honest, I thought Utah was the right side here. I put a small bet on Utah -2. I no longer think that's the case here. I've come back over the top with the Nittany Lions +2 here. Utah, as everybody knows, they caught a lucky break in the Pac-12 championship. Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams, he gets injured. He couldn't move the rest of the game, literally couldn't move. I was happy about that, being on the Utah side that game, but I don't think they win that game if Williams doesn't get banged up there. Utah returns to the Rose Bowl after losing to Ohio State last year by 3. Penn State, on the other hand, they're 30-19-2 all time in bowl games, but they have a record of 1-3 in the granddaddy of them all. And I think that's going to change on Monday. I think that goes to 2-3. This game's going to be won on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Nittany Lions are much stronger at D. They held opponents to under 20 points in 9 games this season. Yes, I know Utah can score and they could score fast, but they haven't seen a D like this yet this year. Utah, great tight end room, right? They led the FBS in receptions, receiving yards, and TDs this season. However, they're going to be out without a key piece on Monday, and that's tight end Dalton Kincaid, who led the Utes in all 3 categories. He's not going to be able to go due to an injury. They're also going to be out with one of their best wide receivers and one of their top corners. As most people know, I'm not a big James Franklin fan, but I do think he's going to have this team ready to go, fight like hell to win this one. They have a chance to close out the year with their 4th 11-win season in the past 7 years. Joe, my brother, went to Penn State. One of his best buddies is a trainer at Penn State. He told him he's never seen a team more prepared and ready to go than this Nittany Lions team here. I played on the Penn State Nittany Lions +2 Monday night in the Rose Bowl.
+2 Nittany Lions, Rose Bowl, Granddaddy Mall. Chris Thurston, you know that CT Bets is coming on him. It's a winner. He told you where you could find him any day of the week. I'll tell you, he's an easy guy to find. When you're famous and you're in demand, you got to be easy to find. He is easy to find. He's going to stick around for a couple of minutes, guys. At the end of the show, we'll tell you once again where you can follow Chris, where you can find him, where you can see his shows. And if you have any questions or comments, I know we have a few. We're going to try to get to them. But we have 2 more free plays for you guys. I want to go to the First Lady of Las Vegas, and I am proud of her. You know, and that's not, you know, I'm an old guy in this business. You know, what's funny is I'm considered a dinosaur in this business. I've seen guys come and go. You know, it's funny, guys like Ross Manager and myself, you know, we've been in this business a lot longer than most guys. And I'll be honest, you know, I've been doing this over 30 years here in Vegas. I started when I was 10 years old with football sheets in the schoolyard. But I've seen people come and go, especially with the immersion of social media. Everybody's got their 15 minutes of fame 24 hours a day. But the First Lady of Las Vegas and I got together 20-something years ago because for many years I kept hearing about, and back in those days, guys, and I'm glad the barrier is broken. Back in those days, there wasn't a lot of women in the sports books, let alone girls that were appealing to the eye. A lot of them looked like truck drivers. So, you know, I kept hearing about this cute girl who was crushing the books with big money. And back in those days, big money was a couple of dimes a game. And she kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And although we ran in the same circles and knew the same people and even hung out in the same places quite often, we never met. And when we did meet, not until about 10 years after I knew of her reputation. She knew of mine. Oh, yeah, she knew of mine. Maybe that's why she avoided me for a decade.
Yeah, right.
One night we hung out. And 9 days later, she moved in. And
that was it.
For years, we go our separate ways, guys. We get up in the morning, we do our numbers. She goes into her office, I stay in mine, and that's it. And now that a couple of years ago, I said, you should do this professionally as this. I mean, you still make money betting games, and that, you know, because it hasn't interfered with me and what I do, because my bread and butter is betting games. It's just an added bonus. I get to come and bring you guys winners and good winners on the websites. And, you know, so when she came over, Last year, she finished in her first full season. She finished number 2 in college football, documented. She was on the leaderboards, top 5 in baseball, college and pro football, college and pro basketball. This year, killing it again on all those sports. But this year, she decided to take on hockey.
I did.
She's on the leaderboard in hockey, so she contributes to 5 sports. She's killing it. And her free plays on all these Sports Memo TV shows over 80% for 5 months now. She is a winner. She's going to tell you what she's been doing. She's going to tell you what you can expect from her on the premium side. She's got a free best bet for you. Dionne D'Amico, the floor is yours, darling.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, honey. My college football bowl releases going back to last season are hitting 63%. And today I am excited to announce that I have the winner in the Orange Bowl today between Clemson and Tennessee. And all of my college and pro football releases will be posted by tonight over at Sports Memo. So make sure you head on over to the site because that is going to have some 5 and some 10% plays in there on those plays. So make sure you head on over to the site, pick up those winners. And while you're there, also pick up that bowl package for just $99 and also pick up Joey's $2 Tuesday play for just $2. And then for my free play today, guys, it doesn't have to be a marquee matchup to make money in it. While the Arizona Bowl consists of the Wyoming Cowboys and Ohio Bobcats, I still feel there is money to be made in this contest. The Bobcats enter this matchup a little more motivated as they have an opportunity to reach the 10-win mark this season. The big news for them is that their star quarterback, Curtis Rourke, is out. This will affect the offense without a doubt. I mean, without Rourke, they ranked 18th in the nation in passing. However, backup CJ Harris is adequate. One thing people out there are forgetting is most of this team is intact, including an arsenal of receivers and standout running back Saya Bangora. What?
Saya Bangora.
Saya Bangora. Now, without Rourke, perhaps Wyoming can key a bit more on the ground attack. But please understand that Ohio is a solid team that finished the season winning 7 of their last 8 straight up and 8 of their last 9 against the spread. Meanwhile, the Cowboys come in here losing their last 2 games straight up and 3 of their last 4 against the number. Speaking of Wyoming, it seems that every time they stepped up this season, they fell short. Believe me, although Ohio is a MAC team, I feel Wyoming is still stepping up here today. And when it comes to the Cowboys, their offense leaves a lot to be desired. They average just 20.8 points per game. I just don't see them lighting up the scoreboard in this matchup, guys. Under a field goal to me is a gift. Ohio, they are 4-1 ATS the last 5 bowl games, 22-9 ATS the last 31 versus teams with the winning record, and 5-1 ATS the last 6 in the month of December. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Bobcats minus the 2.5 in the Arizona Bowl.
First lady of Las Vegas says, "Rawr, take the Bobcats." Under a field goal is a gift, even after Christmas. Wrap it up, put it under the tree, because just like us, all our trees are still up. We got 3 trees that are still up.
They'll be up here for a couple more days.
Yup. Guys, she is a winner. Follow her, I know that she was talking. We do our work separately, but she has been talking that she's got several big 5 and 10% plays going up today for Saturday and Monday.
And
Monday.
Yeah. No, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday and Monday.
Saturday, Monday, and the Bowls. So take advantage of that $99 program. Also, I know she's going to have something big on Sunday because we were talking about it ourselves over breakfast. I
will also be having some college basketball plays going up again tomorrow and on Sunday. So
I know,
make sure you get those.
Just let me real quick. We kind of took a couple days off from college and pro basketball just to kind of focus on the bowl games. With all the opt-outs and transfer portals, this is something that you really had to. You got to give it your full attention. So follow the First Lady of Las Vegas. She is a winner, guys. And if you miss any of the show, we're going to run down the free plays in just a couple of minutes. I want to talk about me because it's my second favorite subject after my wife. Guys, Chris is laughing. Guys, once again, this college football bowl season, I'm making you money. My premium release is hitting over 62.5%. I have 2 games posted for you today in today's bowls in the Gator Bowl between South Carolina Gamecocks, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and the Orange Bowl matchup between the Clemson Tigers and the Tennessee Volunteers. I feel very strongly about both releases today. I put them both up on Sports Memo. By the way, the Gator Bowl is a 5% play for us. And that's not for me. It's for us, guys. I also have my CFP Cash Money play posted as my $2 Tuesday play. I'll put that banner up. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, a game of this caliber would normally be considered a game of the year situation, but we don't do games of the year here at Sports Memo. Grab it now for just $2 and win by this evening. I will have all my weekend football winners posted for you, and you can expect for sure I have a 10% play for tomorrow that will be up tonight, and I am 18-4 this year in 2022 in my 10% plays. You can expect a 10% place and a couple of 5%. I'm telling you right now. Oops, let the cat out of the bag. Now for my free play, I want to talk about the Bruins. You know, I went to UCLA, not the one in California, the one in New York, University of the corner of Lexington Avenue. But I feel this is still my alma mater. I know a lot about this team. I got Chris Thurston laughing backstage. Guys, this Sun Bowl between the Pitt Panthers, UCLA Bruins, very simply, guys, the line was at 5.5 yesterday morning. I will tell you that myself and some other guys here in Vegas moved on UCLA. We moved it up to 7, and then the general public followed suit. No BS. We moved this game. They followed suit. They moved up to 7.5 yesterday. And as of this morning, it was an 8. There was mostly 8s. I saw 7.5 before the show. There's mostly 8s. My friends, while I'm not crazy about laying better than a touchdown in a game like this, I still feel UCLA is the right side. As of right now, neither Pitt nor UCLA have named their starting quarterbacks. Now, Chris told me before the game that he heard some rumors that both DTR and Charbonnet are going to play. I'm going to go on the assumption that right now, as of this show and this analysis, it is not official. So always do your due diligence. That's one of the biggest things I can tell you in sports betting. But having said that, without question, this is a more significant on the Bruins side is DTR. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is far and away the best quarterback on either team. One thing I want you to understand, UCLA is deeper at every major position. They're very deep. They're deeper than Pitt at every major position. The Panthers also lost a couple of key cogs in their offensive wheel, including their only true rushing threat in 1,431-yard rusher, 20 TD achiever, Israel Abinaconda. Say that 10 times quick. Our next born is going to be named Israel Abinaconda D'Amico. But on the flip side for the Bruins, their top ball carrier is Zach Charbonnet. He's still not declared if he's going to play or not. But reports are both that DTR and Charbonnet practice all week now. As I said, it is not official as of this show. And they could have gone official while I'm on the air, but I will tell you this could be smoke and mirrors. They both practiced all week. Whether they play or not, it does have a significance, but this team is deep. All right, they're much deeper than the Panthers at key positions. UCLA still has a slew of receivers at their disposal and solid depth in where their backfield, guys. They are stacked higher than your pancakes at your favorite local breakfast eatery, I'll tell you that. I think a common mistake, too, that a lot of sports bettors make is looking at how both of these teams finished the season. Granted, the Panthers finished with 4 consecutive wins, covering 3 of the 4. The Bruins dropped 2 of their last 3 straight up, and all 3 against the spread. But you can, guys, it is a fatal mistake judging a team by what they did in November as to what they're going to do in December. Understand they've had weeks, and sometimes in some cases a month, to heal, rest, prepare, get ready. All right. Remember, the Panthers 1-5 ATS the last 6 versus teams with a winning record. 2-6 ATS the last 8 neutral site games, 1-4 ATS the last 5 non-conference games, and 1-5 ATS the last 6 bowl games. Guys, there are money players and there are fun players. I'm going to tell you right now, UCLA is more of a money player. Pitt is a fun player. It may be a lot of points, but I'm going to take the Bruins here. Roar, roar, roar to take it. Let me bring my good buddy Chris back. Now, we got a couple of questions. Anyone like Maryland today? Dionne or Chris, you want to jump on this bandwagon? Prior to the game, I saw NC State -1. This line did ping pong around. Yeah. Anything for you on this one, Chris?
Nothing for me on this game, but if you're looking at the Maryland side, I think it's worth noting that Shop Around. Pinnacle is the only site that's offering 2.5 plus 2.5 with Maryland. So if you like that side, you could grab 2.5 with Penny. Everywhere else in the world, it's -1. So it looks like Penny's begging for some. They need some Maryland money there, Joe.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Christian. Guys, I want to tell you, Chris made a great point, and we appreciate you, Kirk, for asking about this, and I'll chime in a second. But I want to tell you something. There was a singer back in my day named Smokey Robinson. If you wanted to make out with a girl, and back in my day, that was your goal on a date. You guys got whole different goals now. I ain't going to get into it. You used to put a little Smokey Robinson on, and one of the biggest songs he had was Shop Around. My mama told me you better shop around. Shop a number around. The difference between winning and losing is a half point. And guys, if a line does not give you an advantage, there is no crime in staying away. Having said all that, guys, I think that game was a very tough game. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was a tough game. On one side, you got a team that's a little more intact. On another side, you got a team that was Jekyll and Hyde. I'm staying away from the game. I did not like it. Dionne, anything
staying away on that one also?
Staying away. I
think that one could go either way. And for me, in order to put something out, I have to be completely in love with it. And that game there, I couldn't put any faith in it.
Good stuff. And guys, I want you to know something. I respect cappers when they come on the show. So guys, I'm staying away from this game. That tells you as much about a capper as when they give you an in-depth analysis on one side of a matchup. I want you to know that. So, Kirk, I'm staying away. Dan, staying away. Chris says if you're going to do it, shop it around, shop the number. Our good friend Roger Long. Hey, Raj. He said he's got NC State plus the 4.5 as the final leg. And then he's got a second part to this question, and he's got a plus 4.5. I wouldn't say that's a bad play. I kind of like them with those points. Excuse me. He said, do you ever hedge your last leg? All right. Vince Vegas just said, do you ever hedge your last leg? We got conversations between our guys.
Well,
I will tell you this. It depends on how much I got going on a game.
Yep.
Obviously, the bottom line, Chris, is this is a business. We do it for fun. We love sports. We like betting. We like the action. This is a business. And bottom line is you want to make money each time. So I don't care how much I like one side. Now, normally I don't play parlays. I don't play teasers. But once in a while I do, especially earlier on in the season in college and pro football. I'll take some money line underdogs and put them together. Having said that, no matter how much you like one side, remember your job as a sports bettor is to make money, whether it's $1 or $1 million every day of the week, every week of the month, every month of the year, every sport in the season. Having said all that, it's always smart to bet a little bit on the other side, especially if you can middle a damn game. If you got a teaser on one side, you can bet the other side -1, you got plus 4.5. Guys, it's not the dumbest thing in the world to do. Let me see what else we got here. All right. So Roger is on your play, but he's got them tees +8.
Yep.
And under 57.5. Do you think all the opt-outs have created mistimed offenses, unders on the usual? I think that these opt-outs, I'll be honest, and I want to go to Dionne and Chris. Dionne, opt-outs, transfer portals. Do you think it's affected this year?
I think it's affected a lot of things in a lot of ways that we look at the games too. I mean, there's so much that's going in with all these guys, going with the opt-outs. And I mean, to me, I think it's been a nightmare.
It's been a nightmare from my dream woman.
Well, it has.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's been a
nightmare. It makes it tough for us to handicap games.
And this time, these last few days, or I should say week, we've concentrated so much more on, these bowl games with all the opt-outs that, I kind of stepped back from the other sports this week because I wanted to focus more on, these games here, because you have to do a lot of research with who's in, who's out, who's replacing who, what's going,
and how it affects the personnel that's on the field. Chris, your take on this question Roger has, please.
Yeah, it's absolutely affecting the bowl games. They've been very tough. And if you're not getting the right information, it's probably a good idea to stay away from the game. I go back to Christmas Eve. I know you guys probably remember this. So it was San Diego State versus Middle Tennessee State. And it was back and forth if all the starters were going to play for San Diego State, right? The line closed 12. And San Diego State, the starters played, and Middle Tennessee, it didn't even matter. Middle Tennessee State won the game outright. So these games have been a crapshoot. It's just if you're not getting the right information, you don't have to bet it. Just because there are all kinds of bowl games and they're on TV doesn't mean you have to get involved.
Absolutely. Right. Sometimes you can just watch a game and have a beer, guys, to be honest with you. But in my opinion, I think this year, more than any other bowl season, this season has been a lot more difficult because of these opt-outs and transfer portals. We don't know for sure in some of these cases until just before game time. And obviously that's going to affect the line. Rumors, they move the line. That's something that some people in the know, like Chris, Dionne, myself, we know what a rumor is, what it isn't, if it's official or not. But I will tell you that not only does this affect the line, it also affects the play of the game. If you've got a certain quarterback who doesn't have his top receiver or his top running back, it changes. You got to look at their backups. The SEC and the Big Ten are a lot more stacked at positions than some of the other conferences. So, people always say, the running back for Alabama. So if Alabama's out, for LSU is out. Look at the guy who's behind him. Now in the SEC and the Big Ten, they're usually stacked a little deeper than some of the other conferences. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. Obviously we looked last night and I was on Washington against Texas. It was a nice win for me.
Yep.
I had one of the guys hit me up on Twitter and say, Joe, man, I'm against you. I love you. I think you're one of the best I've ever seen. And he said, even when you don't win, man, I agree with the angles you had going into a game, blah, blah, but I'm on Texas. And I felt them missing Bijan Robinson and a few, it's so much of a big part when certain guys are out. Also, as a unit, an offense or a defense, is the guy a play caller? He's just shot caller. Is he an integral part to where it makes that unit in sync? If you're missing that, man, it doesn't matter. I mean, let me tell you right now. Let me just use an example. Chris, we saw for so many years Tom Brady, who you can't argue his success. All right, and there's never going to be another player in the NFL have as many championships as him. You can't argue that. So, having said that, though, we saw him so many times go to Gronk while Gronk was double teamed, and other guys were wide open. Why? Because that is where his comfort zone was. Yep. He knew if he threw it up, there was a good chance Gronk, even though double team, would come down with the ball. That happens a lot at the collegiate level as well. These guys room together. They live together. They eat together. They whatever together, So their comfort zone are with certain players in certain matchups. So having said all that, we've got a couple things. Jesse Schultz chimed in. This is good news that the opt-outs are going to be less common for the rest of these bowls. That's true, Jesse. Yep. He also sent a picture of him wearing nothing but his Speedo. Jesse, please stop sending those pictures. Can I have your glasses? No, okay. Anyway.
I would, but they just broke again, so unfortunately you can't.
Guys, real quick, the $2 Tuesday special is still alive. We're going to run down the free plays just for a minute, get you out of here in time for you to take advantage of all those free plays, get those bets down for today. Joe D'Amico, JM Sports, 5% plays, $2 each. The college football discount on both websites, $99. And you can use this as many times for as many copies as you want. Guys, fire away on this because this will make you go into the new year with a bankroll and a profit. Having said all that, we're going to run down the free plays. My good friend Ross Benjamin, 7-2-1 in bowl games right now. He said the Sacramento Kings tonight is a winner. Rocky Atkinson, who will be sharing a panel with me later today on the Pro Football Forecast Show, he said, ain't that a peach? The Peach Bowl, Georgia Bulldogs. Chris Thurston. Chris, what'd you have for everybody today?
I'm going to the Rose Bowl Monday night, 5 o'clock Eastern. Play on the Penn State Nittany Lions. And, Joe, I expect them to win the game.
Great. Oh, he says outright. I love it from Chris. Guys, you're going to be seeing Chris as a regular here, definitely through the Super Bowl. We might be reformatting some things, but he's going to be here as long as he wants to be here because we love him. I know you do too. Dionne, what'd you have for everybody today?
I am going with the Bobcats minus the 2.5 in the Arizona Bowl tonight.
I thought you couldn't read without your glasses. We learn things every day after 22 years. And your sexy and savory host says, take the Bruins minus the 8. I know it's a lot of points. I think they're still deeper. And let's go on the assumption that DTR and Charbonnet will play. Having said all that, guys, Dionne's going to take us out of here. And then that's it.
That's right.
That's it. Take us out of here, baby.
So don't forget to follow all of these amazing cappers on the First Family Show on Twitter, along with myself and Joe. And don't forget to tune into all of Sports Memo's TV shows for some great betting insights and some free winners. And make sure you tune in this afternoon as Joey will be hosting the NFL show along with Rocky Atkinson, JM Sports, and Moneyline Matt because they have some great games that they will be covering, and you do not want to miss out on that. And on behalf of Sports Memo, Wager Talk, Ross, Rocky, Chris, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, Happy New Year.